BethWe in the Koinonia Kitchen, and I want to talk to you about two different stances that people take on, ways that they describe themselves. One is the role of victim, and the other is the role of a survivor. How are they alike and how are they different? Or are they at all? They're two patterns that keep us from living to our highest good. So it's really important that we uncover what makes us tick, especially if we've grabbed one of these stances as a way of life. You know, quitting, blaming, depending upon, competing, these are patterns in our lives. And playing the victim or playing the survivor are just two more patterns. To be a victim, there has to be a perpetrator. Victims can only exist inside of dysfunctional relationships. Their cry is, "I can't do it without you." It basically telling you that it's your responsibility to take care of me. To be a survivor, there has to be a hardship that was overcome, usually alone. Survivors exist outside of relationships, which in itself is dysfunctional. We were created for relationship. The cry of the survivor, "I don't need you." And usually they'll throw in, "and I didn't ask for your help anyway." So which one? Are you one of these spiritually? Do you lean toward one way or the other? Let's take a look. A victim will confuse his or her wants with their needs. They demand immediate help. They cannot tolerate waiting. They can't arrive at God consciousness without outside help. They can't get there by themselves. A victim shoots for their highest good, but will settle for whatever is available and does not demand personal work. They like the phrase, "You do it for me. You do it for me. You show me how." Got it, kind of? What's a victim? Well, then what's a survivor? A survivor will tell you that their needs and their wants are nobody's business but their own. Get off their back. They don't have to wait because they didn't ask for help. The survivor arrives at God consciousness when they look in the mirror. I did it. I did it by myself. I don't need any help. The survivor decides how to attain their highest good and then strategically engineers its arrival on the scene. "I got this" is one of their big phrases. Do you recognize yourself in either of those two little roles? Because both of them have relationship issues. They're just opposite ends of the same spectrum. And somehow the key to spiritual freedom lies in the middle of those two relational stances. If you can't connect with other people or you depend upon other people too much, you're staying away from a higher power. One says, no, the person who my savior is the person who's helping me out. That's the victim. The survivor says, "My savior is myself. I got this." And can you see how that sets us up for a cyclical run of dysfunction in every other relationship we have? Spirit balance isn't the issue. The issue here is truth. This is not about where you're standing with God. It's about where you're standing with truth. Do you know who you are? Have you admitted that you use these patterns to get through life? That you count on the hamster wheel you're on and you think you're making progress, but you're just going around in circles. Balance is the spirit world, and truth is how we get there. So resistance to God is going to play out in one of these two extreme roles, victim or survivor. You know, if you give God an inch, He will bless you a mile. It's a funny thing, but God knows where you're standing. So to the victims, let me speak to you quickly. No one can keep you in your current state but you. You have the power to seek real power, not the man-made kind that you've been settling for. You think somebody else helping you is the solution. If you could only know a living relationship with God, everything else would change. You have to take responsibility for that relationship, though. If you want a relationship with the higher power, you have to discipline yourself to have it. I mean, if I want a relationship with a friend, I have to meet them for coffee. I have to talk to them about things. I have to spend some time there. It's the same with God. You're selling yourself short by settling for man-made power. Stop blaming people, places, and things for your own error. This is a question of truth. Can you see the truth? And if you can't, what's blocking your vision? Is it fear? Is it fear that you won't be enough? Is it fear that no one ever took you seriously? The time is now to get honest with yourself and face the fact. You're not a victim. You're a volunteer. This can change if you will do the work. To the survivors, I'm going to speak to you now. Open yourself up to one person, just one person, and learn how to trust. It might not be somebody in your family. It's okay. If you had a hard childhood or whatever, you survived it, open yourself up to one person. Maybe you have to pay a therapist to get this done. Maybe you have to go see a priest. But all I'm saying is open yourself up to one person and learn how to trust. You're going to be faced with the decision where you're going to have to let go and let God, because self-sufficiency is a false God. It keeps you from knowledge of the one true God. You'll never get there. So how do you develop a relationship with Source? You're going to have to open your mind and give it some time. You have to stop assuming you know the truth. You don't have the truth, or you would have a working relationship with the God of your understanding. Lack of trust comes from fear, not strength. What you're lacking is trust. That lack comes from fear, not from power. Don't kid yourself. And it certainly does not come from love. Usually survivors don't even have self-love. They count on themselves, but they treat themselves badly behind the scenes. I promise you, you will recognize truth when you hear it. Open your mind. It sounds like such a hard thing to do, but it's just like cracking a door in a dark room. Just that little crack in the door, the light enters, and the darkness is so much less. It's so much less frightening when you get that little crack of light in there. So we're talking to two different kinds of stances, the victim and the survivor. If I've pushed a button on anybody there, I hope it's for the good. I hope you'll seek some help. You'll start some journaling. You'll attend some 12-step meetings. You'll do something to find your way to balance and wholeness. Because the victim and the survivor, we need your energy so bad in this world. We need you to use your gifts and talents to make this world all that it was intended to be. I hope you're feeling better because you had a listen. Good Seed Podcast is powered by the BethWe nonprofit ministry based in Vero Beach, Florida. Our goal is to start the uncomfortable conversations that turn complacency into action and despair into hope. Connect, communicate, and thrive with us. Check us out online at BethWe.com.